I'm a Texas guy. Of course, my first legal drink was going to be a Shiner. Proudly not brewed in 49 states, as they say. Anyways, hey, this is going to be a bit of a longer, rambly video, and I'm probably not going to edit it much, so there'll be a number of places where I sit and think without saying anything, so just know that, be ready for that. I'm going to be sort of sharing some of my thoughts on alcohol and drinking. Because, it's a controversial issue, and why not just add to that controversy by throwing my opinion out there. So, I'm not gonna lie and pretend that I never drank at all before I was 21. But it was maybe at least 3 times, maybe more. And it's always been my opinion that you shouldn't drink as soon as you're legally able to. So I actually waited a year and a half, give or take, since turning 21 for now. And I guess my advice to the younger viewers out there who are not of legal age yet is, the reason I say to wait some time once you've turned 21 before you start drinking is because I think you need to be able to resist when it's available, if that makes sense. So you're under 21, it's easier to resist. And I know there's peer pressure and stuff like that, especially if your friends are drinking underage. But you can just say, I'm underage or whatever. And it's not something you can go out and buy yourself. So there's that added barrier to prevent you from developing a dependency early or what have you. Now, obviously, there are alcoholic minors, but the point is, if you wait until you're 21 and then on your 21st birthday you go all out and get drunk, there is, in my opinion, a very high chance that you, even though you practiced that resistance earlier, it's not going to be the same once you're 21 and you can just buy all the alcohol you want. The other thing I would say is, for those who are of age, to avoid becoming an alcoholic, you have to, I guess, be intentional about when and why you drink. I noticed this when I did the same thing for smoking tobacco. I actually never smoked before I was 21. And then I waited about a month or so before I first had my first smoke, a cigar. And it wasn't something that I felt I could get addicted to. However, there have been a couple times where I had like a bad day and it just came to my head like, hey, I should smoke that cigar today. And I had to be like, no, I don't want to turn to that when I feel down or whatever, because that's how if you do that once, then it's going to be easier the next time, and you start that pattern, and then you become addicted. And I guess that's the main thing with any I guess drug. It is a drug. Alcohol, tobacco are drugs technically. They're in a different category but anyways, point is, I don't think there's any problem with drinking or smoking on their own. It's when it becomes an addiction that it can get you into trouble. That's when it can really start having negative impacts on your health. And again, my main advice for how to avoid that is, again, wait till after you're 21. Don't drink as soon as you're 21. Don't get in the habit of drinking in order to cope with stress or a bad day or whatever. And I think you can, like, get drunk and it not be a problem. But you have to be careful with that. One reason obviously is you don't have the same inhibitions when you're drunk, so you can get yourself in all sorts of trouble. I've known people that have done crazy stuff that they never would have done if they weren't drunk, and they did it when they were drunk. So, drunk driving, obviously, extremely dangerous. And you need to be careful, especially the first time you get drunk. But I'd say anytime you want to get drunk, you have to be careful that you don't set things in place that will keep you from doing something stupid, whether that be giving your car keys to a friend, or locking them up, or I don't know, shutting your phone off so you don't drunk text your ex or whatever. There's things you should do until you know what you're like when you're drunk. So I do plan on getting drunk sometime just to see what it's like. And that's like I'm probably gonna like handcuff myself and like not have a gun around and like put my keys somewhere and like shut my internet off so I don't go drunk messaging my sergeant or whatever. So I don't do something stupid, you know? And I'm gonna record myself at least as much as I can to see what I'm like when I'm drunk, because if I do ever plan to get drunk around people, then I want to know that I'm someone who's like not going to be a total jerk when I'm drunk, you know? I don't say something I don't mean or whatever when I'm drunk. But those are just my thoughts on the matter, I guess. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I think about alcohol from a biblical perspective. So if you're not Christian or you don't care about that side of things, you can go ahead and click off the video now, I guess. So there is a faction of Christians that don't believe in alcohol at all. And there's some I guess basis to that position, even despite the things in scripture that would go against that. So I heard one guy talking about it, and he was like, back in Bible times, they had like beer and wine. I don't know if they had beer, but they definitely had wine. But that was about it. They didn't have like strong liquors because the distilling process required to make like actual strong liquors like that wasn't around yet. So people wouldn't get drunk as easily. Now, obviously, people did get drunk in the Bible. Noah got drunk. The Proverbs are full of warnings about alcohol and drunkenness especially. But I think there's also first of all, Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine, you know? Jesus drank wine. And the people at the wedding where Jesus turned the water into wine were drunk because the master of ceremonies was like, hey, you brought out the best wine. Everybody's drunk. They're not going to be able to appreciate it. At least I don't know any other way to interpret his objection there. And in Jewish weddings back in the day were these like week-long celebrations, and there was a lot of drinking and a lot of drunkenness. And that's not condemned anywhere in Scripture. Now, there are, I'd say probably the most direct order in the New Testament, at least, is I think it's in Timothy or something, and it says that he's talking about requirements for church elders and pastors, and he says they should not be given to drunkenness. Even that doesn't mean to me that they can never get drunk. It just means they need to be able to control themselves around alcohol. Now, there's other verses, like, do not be drunk with wine, for in it is dissipation, and excuse me. And I think I sort of take that to mean, like, again, the same thing, sort of don't be, like, continually, like, drinking, don't be given to drunkenness. I mean, it doesn't technically say don't ever be drunk with wine, because he's giving general life principles. And I think they should be taken a step. Again, don't take any of this from me. Like, you go read the word yourself. And if you find yourself not able to control yourself around alcohol, okay, there's people that should never drink because they just can't control themselves. But I think the majority of people should be able to drink now and then. And including drinking to the point of getting drunk, because I don't have much experience with alcohol, as I said, but, like, you don't drink it for the flavor, right? Because it's not particularly good tasting, and, like, you basically drink alcohol to get drunk, or to at least feel something. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong if you're able to control yourself. And again, if you're able to, or if it doesn't become such of a habit that you start to experience health problems because of it, because there are health problems related to alcohol, even if you're not regularly drunk. Then, of course, there's drinking just as a socializing thing, and I don't see any problem with that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really have to say on the issue. As long as I've got beer left, I wanted to kind of keep this conversation going as long as I still had drink left. But I don't know. I'm kind of running on fumes at this point as far as anything to actually say on the matter. So yeah, I guess to wrap things up, you know what? I've wrapped things up enough. So yeah, that's it. I'll go ahead and wrap things up because you might be lost at this point. Don't drink underage. Wait a while once you are of age before you really start drinking. Be careful if you ever plan on getting drunk. Don't keep getting drunk if you find that you're unable to control yourself. And if you're absolutely unable to control yourself, don't drink at all. And that's easier said than done, probably, for some of you that are already waist deep or neck deep or underwater in this. I apologize. I'm not the person you'd go to for that. I'm just starting this myself. And there's going to be some... Excuse me. There's going to be some people who are going to be like, hey, if you don't already have this problem, why are you starting it now? If you're already able to control yourself, why start something that you don't need to start, you know? And honestly, just because, like, and it's probably a stupid answer, but like, again, one, there's the social aspect of drinking. He says drinking alone in his room. This is 24 fluid ounces, which is, I guess, the equivalent of 3 drinks, which, I don't know, like, I'm not really feeling anything, but like, I don't know if I should be, so, I mean, I've heard that you're supposed to feel something by 3 drinks or whatever. What am I talking about? You watching this might think I am drunk, but I don't think I am. I hope not. I hope I can tell when I'm sober. Anyways, I'm starting to get full, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I did not finish this. I've got like 4 or 6 ounces. I don't know. I've got a few ounces left, but anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my rambling speech about nonsense that no one cares about, or maybe you do care about. I don't freaking know. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.